good people, Tiffany Javon here back with another video, and today we're actually going to talk about the 9 things that you need to know before considering buying a house. And I would say buying a house here in Texas because this is where I reside, but wherever you are, these steps should be similar. And if not, of course, you're going to touch base with whatever realtor you choose because they should be the one that should be holding your hand throughout this whole process. If this is something that's brand new to you, this is definitely for first. I would say this is for first-time home buyers, people that don't know anything about anything, but they, decide or they desire to own a home. And so, the very first, without further ado, the very first thing that I would say is market research. You definitely want to start figuring out what areas you want to live in. I would drive around in these areas. I would pick the cities, but then also drive around in the areas. I would drive around in the neighborhoods to kind of get a feel of the area. I would also do research on, if you have children, do research on the schools, the school systems, and different things like that. Just kind of what options you have available in those areas and kind of like narrow it down. I wouldn't have, a list of more than maybe 10 cities to start with, or maybe even 5, and then just narrowing it down from there, maybe getting down to your top 3 and then going from there. So once you kind of have those chosen, then you can move to the next step, which is this is the vital step that would make or break you buying a home. And this next step is actually finding a good realtor. We actually got really blessed because we actually went on realtor.com or Zillow. I believe it was Zillow that we found our realtor on. But I would say actually talk to your family and your friends, people that has already bought homes before. If they've had really good experiences, people don't mind sharing with you a good reputable realtor. Or I would say, look for one on the sites that you can look for a house on, the realtor.coms, the zillow.coms, or the Trulia. I would go on those sites because realtors are on there, and I would, find a realtor that matches with your personality, to matches with your wants, your needs, and different things like that. A realtor that's very communicative, one that's really good about answering your questions and making you feel really comfortable. I think that's one thing that our realtor really did, is that she listened to us, kind of, because we were just kind of like, we had Bambi legs when it came to going to try to find a house and go through this whole process. So it's like, girl, you got to hold our hand because we don't know nothing about nothing. So you literally have to be our guide. And a good realtor will definitely do all kinds of things for you, but one thing that they will definitely do is make you feel really comfortable in going through this process, because it's already I wouldn't say necessarily hard, but it can be challenging process, and it can be tedious as well. So you definitely want to have somebody that's very knowledgeable, that knows what they're doing, and that can walk you through this process effectively. So finding a good realtor is vital for the rest of these steps. Number 3, I would say you need to get pre-qualified. There is no way for you to know if you would qualify for a mortgage without actually getting your credit pulled and doing that. I know people, they kind of look at it like, oh, I'm working on my credit and I'm doing this. And one thing I know about credit is that I don't really know a lot, but I know that there's like different credit scores. So there's like a FICO 1 and a FICO 8 and a FICO 5 or whatever the numbers are. I really don't know. But I know that once you get your credit pulled by a certain organization, a financial institution, they pull a different credit number than everybody else. So whoever is pulling your credit for your car might not be the same. They might not pull the same number as the credit for your house. So I would just get it pulled. At the end of the day, once you get it pulled, if you're working with a really good realtor, they should be working with a really good team, a really good person that can actually pull your credit, and they can actually, a financier or whatever, and they can actually let you know exactly where you are. They will pull your credit, let you know, hey, you have a this and you qualify, and these are the programs that you qualify for. Or they'll say, hey, you have a this and you don't qualify, but there's no need to worry. Here are the steps to get you there. Like, you got to pay this down and this off and whatever. And so that way you can come up with a plan. Okay, so you can know whether you can get pre-qualified immediately, or that if you have a little bit of time, you have some things, there's some challenges or whatever that you need to work on with your credit, and then you can move forward from there. But let's just say you didn't have anything going on. I believe with us, we didn't have anything going on because my husband actually qualified for the mortgage, and I don't think we had like a long, tedious list of things to do. I think we just had to get a certain amount of monies in our account and stuff like that. Because that's another thing with getting pre-qualified. They'll also let you know how much money you're gonna need, like on average when you give them a target price of kind of where you want to stay. Like I want a home value that I don't want to go above 400,000 or whatever case may be. Then they'll let you know, okay, for a $400,000 house, you're gonna need to have about this much in closing costs, about this much in down payment, and then if your credit is a certain tier, they'll let you know if there's programs available for you to get funding and different things like that. Because that's one thing we were able to do. We were able to get help with down payment, and we only had to pay closing costs. So, and even in that, again, having that good realtor with her good team, I mean, we're able to do what we needed to do and actually not come out of pocket too much. So like having you a good team is definitely gonna, again, make or break your home buying process. So I would definitely vet those people. And listen, also, just to kind of put this in there as a caveat, if you feel like you're not getting the best out of your realtor, it's okay to change them. Like, this is a big deal. Like, you're making a hundreds of thousands of dollars commitment. You're making a 30, more likely a 30+ year commitment. Like you don't need to work with just anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you need to make sure that they meet your criteria, that they're meeting your expectations, that they're communicating well, that they're making you feel comfortable throughout this whole process. And I would say, like, once you get pre-qualified and everything's approved, then I would go, at the same time, I would have my realtor, because they help you with pretty much all these steps. They help you with the house hunting process. So remember at the very beginning, you did your research, you narrowed down to like your 3 areas. And so now they helping you find the actual houses. You've given them, your budget. You want to get a house less than 400,000, whatever. And then they'll start sending you homes. They'll start sending you homes that, and they have access to what's called the MLS system, and it's basically for realtors. So they basically have access to homes as soon as they hit the market, even before they are marketed publicly online. So that's one thing that's good about having a realtor, is like sometimes you're able to get access to properties that's not even hit online yet. You know what I mean? So again, having you a great lawyer, I don't know what's a lawyer, a great realtor is vital. So once you do your house hunting, let your realtor know like what you're wanting. I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I want 2-car garage. I want, my garage more than likely in the front as opposed to in the back. I mean, just these things that you're wanting, make sure you let your realtor know, and that way they'll narrow down, find you some good potentials, and then you can go visit these potentials. You do your touring, and then you make your decision from there. And then again, their next step is making an offer. So when it comes to making an offer, again, your realtor is going to be key. They're going to let you know kind of what you need to kind of go in at. Just because you want a $400,000 house don't mean you just have to find a house and make an offer for 400,000. Like, no, you want to find you something that's close to that area. So maybe you find a house that's 375 or 360 or whatever. So with that gives you a little bit more room for closing costs or whatever case may be, if you needed money for closing costs and different things like that. So it kind of helps you, not hit just your max, but just, you're somewhere close to it. So making an offer, your realtor will definitely help you with that, with crafting something that's going to be competitive, that's going to draw the seller in, and they'll end up choosing you. I would say in our home buying process, I think we ended up making, I can count on one hand how many offers we had to make. I don't think we had to make more than, I don't recall more than 2 or 3 at the most offers that we made on a home. And I really think it's 2, because I don't remember the third one, but 2 that I can remember offhand. And we didn't get the first one, but the second one we got. So it's not a lengthy process if you're working with somebody that knows what they're doing in the industry. They know how to craft the offer. They know how to put it, and make it, to where the seller wants to go with you, or whatever the case may be. And it worked out. It worked out for us. So having a good realtor definitely helps. The next thing is your home inspection. So this is also vital. Like, once you signed an offer, you have the seller that's agreed to your offer. You guys have both signed. You have this period of time, this contingency period, meaning that you guys can your option period where you can back out. Any party can back out or whatever the case may be, but usually the seller. But the buyer also can back out for whatever reason. Like if you find something in your home inspection that the seller didn't disclose, because the seller is supposed to disclose you the state of the house. Like if there's any repairs done, if there's any, if the bones of the house for whatever reason. And when I call the bones of the house, I mean like the structure of the house, like the major things like the plumbing and the air conditioning and different things like that, the foundation. Those are the plumbing of the house, like the structural things, the make or break things, the things that can cost tens of thousands of dollars to repair. And most people don't have, that if they're first time home buyer, they don't have all this money, bountiful money that they can just throw into a home for repairs. 9 times out of 10, you're trying to get into a home that you don't really have to do a lot of repairs on. You already have to bring your down payment and your closing costs 9 times out of 10. So it's like, if you don't have a good program that you can get into where they can help you with those things, and if you did have leftover money, that would be good to help with like the purchase of your furniture and different things like that. Like you want to keep as much money as you can in your pocket. You do not want to go into something where you have to come out of your pocket for repairs. You would want the house to already kind of be in a condition to buy and to kind of be living ready, so to speak. And so your home inspection is vital, like getting somebody that can go into the home and let you know, hey, this is not right or this is not right. And by giving you that list, you can say, hey, this list is extensive. I'm going to go back to the seller with this and say, hey, these things need to be addressed in order for this sale to go forward. If not, then I'm opting out. Or it could be some minor things where they can say, yeah, we can get that addressed. We can get that roof shingle addressed or whatever the case may be. And then they get those things addressed and then you move forward with the purchase. If not, run for the hills and find something else, because obviously that deal wasn't for you. But again, we found something that we were able to buy and move into, that was move-in ready, and it helps with the home inspection, going through that process and talking with our home inspector and kind of finding out, kind of the state of the home and different things like that. Next thing I would say, number 7, it would be the closing process. Your realtor will actually, after everything's all done, after you've been through option period, and now it's really just kind of like a waiting game, your realtor will communicate with you kind of what the closing process looks like. They will let you know like where you need to go to sign your closing documents. They will let you know what day that would be. They will let you know if there's any additional documents or disclosures or anything that you need to sign to have sent over to the title company, so that way they can put it in your package. So that way on the day of closing and the day of signing, everything can be so smooth. So your realtor will be very hands-on, will let you know what that process is like. And then now after you close, yay, you're a new homeowner. That's the goal, right? Once you get there, you're just overwhelmed, you're overjoyed. It's just so many emotions that's running through your mind, but you're a new homeowner, And then number 8, I would say now it's time for moving in. Now you got to take that next step on planning your movers and planning, you're packing everything up, and you can do this yourself. You can get family and friends to help you. You can hire people. There's options out there. We did a little bit of both. We did some packing up ourselves, and then we got movers, to help us move into our house. And then the next step from getting moved in is to get settled in. And this step would mean getting to know your neighborhood, getting to know maybe some home maintenance tips that you need to do. I would say like learning how to treat your foundation in certain types of weather, learning how to, right now we're in winter, so learning how to winterize your home, learning how to, just take care of your home, in these weather conditions, and just knowing how to and what to do as a new homeowner, knowing when you need to change a filter, or air filter out, knowing, of course, with the presence of the home and the eye appeal and the curb appeal, you want to be sure you're taking care of your lands and your grass and the lawn and different things like that. If you're in HOA, they usually have like steps that they require you to take as to how your house can look. We did not buy HOA. To each his own when it comes to HOA, but HOA has a lot of rules. I personally don't ever want to live in the HOA because I don't want to be told that my flowers can only be pink. Like, it's just sometimes they can be really nitpicky. I've talked to people, that lived in HOA areas, and they can be really nitpicky on, how they want your house to look, because they pretty much want the same or similar type of look for all their houses. They want it to be neat and clean and all that, and I get that. But sometimes getting down to, they're looking in your backyard and you can't have things taller than the fence, and I could just really go off on a tangent. But we did not go HOA, and again, you need to do your own research on HOA to see if that's something that you would want to do. But as for me and in my household, we didn't want to do that. But so in conclusion, like, those are the 9 things I would do. Start with market research, finding where you want to be, narrowing it down to your 3 areas. Then I would find a really great realtor, vet that realtor to T, because that's the person that's going to make or break your whole process. Getting pre-qualified, then go on the house hunt. Then you want to make an offer. You want to get your home inspection done. You want to go through the closing process. You want to get moved in, and then finally you want to settle in into your new home, into your new area. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Remember, I was telling you guys that the 2 main things that happened for my husband and I in 2024 is that we sold a home, actually, and we started a business. And so I wanted to be sharing more insights on those things, because those are pretty big things. They're pretty big commitments. They're pretty big financial commitments. And I know if I just had someone, or I would want someone, right? I had my realtor, but I would want someone to help me, if there was a mentor, if there was some tips, or if there was something that some experience that somebody has had, that they could share with me that'll help me along the way. I would love to, hear about it, right? In doing my research and different things like that. So that way you can make better informed decisions when it's your turn, right? So I hope that helps somebody. I hope in 2025 you guys are out here trying to be first time home buyers, if that's something that you desire. And I pray that, everything goes smoothly with you in your process. Until our next video, guys, talk to you guys later. Be blessed. Bye.